All right, artists, last week we created our backgrounds where we practiced mixing value using the blue and the black and the yellow. And today what we're going to do is create our winter trees. You can choose how you want to place them. I think I'm going to do two, one on each side. I like to sketch real lightly with pencil first, just to kind of decide where I want my two to be. I might do one a little taller, one a little shorter. And then I'm gonna just lightly kind of mark in where some of the branch lines go. I might add more as I'm painting. We're gonna be using the black and the white acrylic paint today. Remember, these can stain your clothes, so we need to be careful. If you wanna get on an apron, you can. Okay, so the black paint first. What I will do is start at the top. I'm pulling it all the way down past the horizon line, all the way down. Kind of nestle it into the snow. And then with a tree, the trunk usually is a little bit thicker. So I'm going to do a second coat and make it a little thicker. Remember, you cannot erase black paint, so take your time and figure out how to fix mistakes if you make them. Now I'm going to start pulling my branches of the evergreens a little bit longer and looser, sort of like a fir tree. These are kind of in silhouette with the light in the background. So I'm just slowly pulling, and if you can see how the brush line kind of makes the edge of it look like a real tree. All those little bristles on the brush can give you a really nice texture. I'm keeping my brush in a point as I paint and slowly pulling it into the horizon line. You want to give the acrylic paint a few minutes to dry before you add the snow. Otherwise it's going to mix and make gray. So give it a few minutes. It should dry pretty quickly. Acrylic paint, that's one of the good things with acrylic, is that it dries really fast. And you can pull these out more, or you can pull them more horizontal. And then toward the bottom, I usually make them a little bit longer than at the top. Okay, so I'm gonna give that just a minute or two to dry. You might have to sit and be patient. You can wash and dry this brush out, or if you wanna get a clean brush, I'm okay with that too. Okay, and then for the snow, sorry, I was checking one thing. I'm gonna start and go ahead. I realized that I could do some snowflakes right on top of what we painted last week. And I'm just kind of scattering these in the background. I can already see that my first tree is getting pretty close to dry. I didn't put that paint on too thick. This one's still a little wet, but this one is pretty dry. I'm testing it with my finger. So what we're thinking about is putting some snow on the top of the branches. So it's sort of like the snow fell and collected just on those tops. So I'm just running a little bit of white paint, and I'm being really careful and making sure that black paint is dry before adding it. And if you do accidentally make some gray, if it's not totally dry, just give it another few minutes to dry again, and you can paint over your gray. Isn't that nice? It looks good. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. Pretty quick today. And then as you finish, if you'll place these on the drying rack. So I can see right there, I just made a little gray. I'm gonna let it dry for a few minutes and I'll come right back. So like I was saying, yeah, you can place these on the drying rack and get your brushes in the soapy bucket for me. All right, enjoy finishing up these nice winter silhouettes.